probably wondering why I look different, and that's because I'm not Cami or Prasad. I'm Pia, the new kid on the block, here to bring you today's Kini News. Najib Abdul Razak was at the federal court today for his review applications to overturn the decisions and sentence against him in the SRC International case. Several of Najib's supporters were also seen outside the court building holding placards with solidarity messages.
The hearing of Najib Abdul Razak's application to review the federal court's decision in upholding his conviction and 12 years jail sentence and fine in the SRC International case began today. Having exhausted his appeals before the Court of Appeal and the Federal Court, the former Prime Minister is seeking a new apex court panel to hear his review against his conviction and sentencing. Najib was escorted by Kajang prison officers into the apex courtroom to await proceedings to begin at around 9:30 a.m. His wife, Rosmah Mansur, was also seen entering the court building at around the same time. Meanwhile, Najib's supporters were outside the Palace of Justice for what they hoped to be his release at the end of proceedings today. The group of supporters number fewer than 30, but they claim that more are waiting further away from the Palace of Justice. They held signs and placards with Najib's image, with solidarity messages for him. This is Najib's final attempt via court proceedings to set aside his conviction. The former Pekan MP is also pursuing other avenues outside the judiciary, namely a petition for royal pardon, as well as a petition before the United Nations over his alleged arbitrary detention.
While his supporters may have wanted him released today, Najib had to make his way back to Kajang prisons after the proceedings. This came after the court adjourned the SRC review hearing to February 20.
The federal court has dismissed the preliminary objection by Najib Abdul Razak's legal team to recuse Court of Appeal Judge Abu Bakar Jais from being part of the apex bench hearing the former Prime Minister's SRC review. Chief Judge of Sabah and Sarawak, Rahman Sebli, said the court was not persuaded by Najib's lead counsel Muhammad Shafee Abdullah's argument that Abu Bakar should recuse himself from the hearing. Earlier, Shafee had raised the objection, saying that only federal court judges should be on the bench.
So we objected because we say it is not legal to co-opt somebody from the Court of Appeal when you have enough judges in the federal court. So you can only co-opt if you do not have judges or there is an emergency, like maybe a lot of judges were sick in the federal court and things like that.
However, Deputy Public Prosecutor V Sithambaram countered that such an arrangement to co-opt the Court of Appeal judge is allowed under Article 122(2) of the Federal Constitution. Sithambaram added that the defence's bid to shape the panel was highly offensive and contemptuous, and they should not be seeking any special treatment over the proceedings. The hearing of the SRC review will continue on February 20th for 3 days. Najib is seeking to overturn the decision made by a 5-member bench of the federal court, led by Chief Justice Tun Tunku Maimun Tuan Mat, on August 23rd last year, in upholding his conviction and 12-year jail sentence and fine for misappropriation of 42 million ringgit of SRC International funds.
An UMNO Supreme Council member has warned Pakatan Harapan of a virus which could jeopardize the current coalition's government.
UMNO Supreme Council member Ahmad Shafee has warned the government of a virus which he said had claimed the life of the Pakatan Harapan government just 22 months after it was born. In a post on Facebook today, he said the virus that attacked the Harapan government for 22 months led to them bad-mouthing each other in an open manner instead of using internal channels. Shafee added that when they were in the opposition, anyone can talk. He said there was no need for discipline then, but things are a little more difficult when you become the government. He explained that as coalition partners, Harapan leaders should be focused on working hard instead of finding faults in the government. He added that they shouldn't antagonize friends within the government. In his post, Shafee also uploaded screenshots of 2 articles. The first was on PKR lawmaker Hassan Karim's remarks that he sympathized with Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim because of the latter's dilemma over his deputy, Ahmad Zaid Hamidi's corruption cases. The second article was Penang Deputy Chief Minister 2 P. Ramasami's statement that the UMNO president was a burden to his party, Harapan, and the government.
Veteran lawyer Muhammad Khatri Abdullah has shared his views on the decisions to allow 4 former Bersatu MPs in Sabah to keep their seats. According to him, Bersatu can still challenge the decisions in court.
Bersatu will be able to take legal action against Dewan Rakyat Speaker Johari Abdul's decision to allow 4 former Bersatu MPs in Sabah to keep their seats. This is according to veteran lawyer Muhammad Khatri Abdullah. Article 63(1) of the Federal Constitution states that the validity of any proceedings in either House of Parliament or any committee thereof shall not be questioned in any court. However, Hanif said he believes Bersatu will be able to bring the matter to the courts due to the wording of the article, as well as the fact the interpretation of the Constitution is ultimately in the hands of the judiciary. He said the question would be, is the Speaker's decision a proceeding of the House? When contacted by Malaysia Kini, Hanif pointed out that there was an amendment to the Constitution that brought in Article 49A, which says that the determining body that decides whether the seat is vacated or not is the Speaker. He said this is a function put onto the Speaker by the Constitution and not within a proceeding of Parliament. He added that when the Speaker makes a decision, it is not final because that would depend on their interpretation of the constitutional provision. Hanif added that the Court of Law is the only body which has been given the power to interpret the Constitution, and said that he believes the court will have to ultimately decide whether that provision comes into effect in this case.
Pematang Pauh MP Muhammad Fawaz Muhammad Jan has forgiven his Facebook account handler for uploading a controversial statement to his account without his knowledge. Pematang Pauh MP Muhammad Fawaz Muhammad Jan said he has forgiven the administrator of his Facebook account over a statement saying that infidels are trying to destroy Islam. According to Berita Harian Online, Fawaz said he did not want the social media account administrator to feel guilty about the incident. He also expressed his hope that the issue would not be prolonged as the posting has already been taken down and that all humans make mistakes. The post, which has since been taken down, had received mixed reactions from netizens. There were those who praised the statements, including people from some religious groups, while others criticized Fawaz for it. Some of the critics reminded Fawaz that his party, PAS, also has a wing for non-Muslims called the PAS Supporters Congress. Following the criticisms, an apology note was posted on Fawaz's Facebook account. Based on the note, the account administrator had taken the responsibility for uploading the posting without Fawaz's knowledge. Both the posting and the apology note were later deleted from the account. The Film Censorship Board has taken note of the issue regarding a movie titled Pulau, which had caught the attention of the public. According to LPF, there were differences in the content used in the trailer and the actual movie, which was submitted to them for review.
Local film Pulau is a horror movie and not porn as claimed by some people, said the Film Censorship Board, or LPF. In a statement, the agency under the Home Ministry said they had reviewed the movie which was submitted for LPF approval. They added that there is a difference between the content of the Pulau movie trailer shared on social media, which had caught controversy, and the content submitted to it for review. They said that the content of the trailer shown online is outside its jurisdiction. LPF said that they welcome all feedback and constructive views regarding film censorship in the country. However, they also stressed that they are always sensitive to the social cultural norm in Malaysia and does its film reviews according to existing guidelines. The movie had come under the spotlight recently after it was alleged to contain obscene materials. Following this, filmmaker Web TV Asia had urged the public not to judge Pulau based on its trailer alone, and before watching the movie, which is due to be released on March 9th.
EPF members should be allowed to use their contributions money as collateral for loans. This was the view of an economic expert on alternatives that can be taken by EPF to help subscribers facing financial problems.
An economic expert has shared alternatives that can be taken by the Employees Provident Fund, or EPF, to help subscribers facing financial problems, including debts. When contacted by Bernama, Professor Shazali Abu Mansur, an economist at University College ICAT's Kuching, said that EPF can use the contribution money in the agency as collateral to banks to convince them to help subscribers. Shazali said the government would need to discuss the matter with the banks. He said if the government can instruct the banks to help those with debt problems, it would be better because the strict regulations of some banks are making it difficult for the people. He added that the banks should know that the cause of the problem is due to the COVID-19 pandemic and not by the people. He said, by making savings in the EPF as collateral, it will help the subscribers who can also use their collateral period as a time for them to rebuild their finances. Meanwhile, Adila Hazari, a senior lecturer at the Department of Finance, School of Economic Studies at University Utara Malaysia, said EPF could also reduce the contribution rate. She said this is so that subscribers had more money to use to pay debts and other basic needs. She said the proposed reduction in contribution could be carried out in a few months, for example, over 12 months, and this will give the people room to solve their financial problems since the contribution is mandatory.
And that is all from me today. For more stories, you can go to KiniTV.com. You can also follow us on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook for the latest news updates. If you'd like to support independent media, do consider subscribing to MalaysiaKini.com. I'm Pia. Thank you for watching.